All right, so I just started recording. Hopefully this is recording because I know a couple people couldn't make it tonight. Um, oh my gosh, I'm excited about tonight's talk because, sorry, I'm sick, weird not looking at the camera. It's talking about inviting, how to better invite to your challenge groups or whatever. And so I wanted to go through these topics. I wrote a lot of notes because I literally watched video after video today on how to improve myself because I'm not the greatest at inviting either. I'm not, but and my video just went. Can you still hear me? Okay. So I wanted to take a moment to talk about a few things on how can we invite, 3 ways to invite. And then I'm going to talk a little bit on, let's see, positive talk before you go into the process of inviting and talking to people through personal messaging and what you should be talking about. And then last, I'm going to be talking about how to show people value in challenge packs, because that's probably our biggest struggle right now is showing people the value, because a lot of people, our biggest objection is that's too expensive, or sometimes even other family members feel like they don't want them to buy that, so they're like, well, I can't do it. So I talk a little bit about how to combat that. So 3 ways to invite. That this is all from Anita Myron. So if you guys want any good stuff to watch for ideas on how to invite pretty much everything in the business, Anita Myron is awesome on YouTube. So if you want to Google her or whatever, she's great on all her resources. And she's one of the top 10 coaches too in the business. So great resource. So one of the things that she mentions, which I think we kind of do this a little bit already, but she talks about differently about, how to invite people to different events. And so before she even invites to a challenge group, she creates an event page, which I thought was a really cool idea. I have done one of those last December. I haven't done one since then. But the idea is to create almost like a storefront for a challenge group. So to kind of give people an idea of what to expect in a challenge group. But sorry, video's kind of in and out. You kind of do a sneak peek into the challenge group, but for people that you invite into the event page. So I thought that was cool because you can literally do a mass invite. And people can just decide at that point too, if it's something they would be interested in or not. I think we kind of do that with the clean eating group. I like the idea of the clean eating group because then you kind of pinpoint people that are actually interested in changing and are starting to take the first steps. So I think once they've started to change their eating habits, it's a little to do it. So the second thing that you can invite, obviously, is by posting. Hopefully this video turns back on. You can still hear me, right, Megan? You said? You guys can hear me? Okay, good. Sorry, the video should be coming on soon, hopefully. So another way that, let me see if I can get the video. There we go. Okay. So another way to invite is by posting on our personal newsfeed. And a lot of you guys are already doing that, but I'm going to talk a little bit about how to stay consistent with that. But our newsfeed, our personal page is pretty much our logo. It's who we are. And so that's another way to invite and to make sure that you guys are putting yourself out there consistently, because then people are more likely to tell that you're the one to go to. So that you want to be that person that comes to health. And sorry, my video keeps being funky. I'm not great at technology. Sorry about that. And then the third way is obviously most important is private messaging. We have to be personally messaging people, even though we throw our posts into the news feed and all that. Is not enough, because obviously we got to go personally and message people. So that's probably the most important. We can do all posting all day. And like I said before, you can get only 1 or 2 likes, but unless you're messaging people, you won't get people interested. So that's key for us to actually help in inviting. So those are the 3 ways that we can help in inviting. and getting people on board with helping them change their health. So one of the things that she recommends, and I think right now is probably the best time to do this, because there's always like ups and downs in the whole year in regards to when people want to work on their fitness and their health. We know January to February, March is probably the highest time of the year. And then towards the end of the year is probably the hardest time. You know, holidays coming up in school and all that good stuff. When these times come, the best thing we can do is post even more. Post even more. Post more sweaty pics. Post more journey pics or messages about your journey. Like, just go all out. Like, do more, double or triple of what you've already been doing. So since this is like our Team Cup month, I truly recommend all of us to post. Like, if you're normally posting 3 times a day, double that up to 6 times a day. Now, I'm not saying like throw up stocks constantly, but like make it genuine. You know, write your story and share like bits and pieces throughout the day, and just make sure you're always including that workout, making sure that you're including your nutrition post, make sure you're including things that you're struggling with, so that you can break it up throughout the day, so it's not the same thing over and over. But you want to increase your exposure to people, because the more they see you, the more likely they're gonna be starting to kind of react to your posts. So just increase that posting. And again, like I said, if you're super busy, and I've gotten those days where I am super busy, I use Hootsuite, HOOTSUITE.com to schedule my posts sometimes, where I'm just like, when I was gone for camping and I still didn't want to miss out on my personal posts, I used it. I don't use it, try to use it too often, because Facebook knows that, and you won't get as much traffic to those posts versus doing it live or in the moment. So, but when you are in a pinch and you want to stay consistent and have posting throughout the day, use whatever you can. The other one is Postcron, POSTCRON is another one that I've used to schedule my posts. And you guys seen that in our challenge groups too. I use that a lot. It helps to kind of organize yourself throughout the month. All right, so let's talk about that negative cycle that we get into, or the positive negative cycle that we get into mindset when it comes to inviting. And I've been there, guys. I've had my ups and downs. There's days when I'm just like super positive on my post, and then other days I'm just like, I'm not feeling it today. And all coaches go through this, so don't feel alone. It's truly an up and down roller coaster. But it's about talking yourself back to that positive mindset. So there, like I said, there are days when I'm just having a really bad day, and I feel it and I see it in myself, in my attitude to my kids, to my husband. And, sometimes thankfully I can notice it, and I will sit down in front of the computer, TV, or whatever, look up some YouTube videos, and I'm like, okay, I need something positive in my life right now, something to uplift me, and I will have to try to change that mindset. So you want to try to change your mindset, especially on days when you're like, I'm not feeling this right now. I don't want to message people, or the idea of, well, everybody's going to say no to me today. So, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about that mindset too. But realize that whatever you guys put out into that universe, I don't know if you guys, any of the books that you've read, I know the book You Are a Badass talks a lot about putting things out into the universe, or, things that whatever you put out into the universe will come back to you. So pretty much like whatever you put out there will come back. So if you're putting out negativity, if you're not putting out enough positivity, it's going to be all negative coming back. So you got to think about that too, what you're putting out there. And you want to be consistent. You want to show up. So it's like I said before, in the last year and a half since I started, like I said in the beginning, I had no traction in my personal page. I had nobody really interested. I was really slow in my business. But I remember hearing this word constantly, and I was like, okay, I'm going to be that consistent person. And I just posted every single day my journey, and I posted every single day. And that consistency over time will reward you. So don't give up on the fact that you're not getting as much traction right now or it's taking longer. Just realize all those small little actions you're taking every single day are gonna be worth it in the long run. So take advantage. And, you know, I decided from the get-go that I had gotten results the year before that, before becoming a coach. And I love the products. You guys, each of you have tried it. You guys seen results from it. And I personally, I knew that it worked and I wanted to pay that forward. And so that's kind of what motivates me every day, especially the days that I'm just like, oh, you know, I don't want to do this today, or, you know, somebody's going to say no to me. I always think about, how can this change their life? Like, how has it changed my life, and how can I change theirs? So I keep that in my mind as well. And, you know, we know that most people don't want to spend money on themselves. You know, they will spend tons of money on others. So you talk about like the Christmas, like the holidays, birthdays. People will spend tons of money on like crap, because, you know, you people will be sending gifts for like, you know, the sausage and cheese, Hickory sausage and cheese for Christmas. And, you know, it's like, really, like, they spend all this money on this food, but they won't spend like $50 on themselves. You know what I mean? So you gotta like try to use that fuel and those stories behind why they don't want to invest in themselves, and use that. You want to personalize those messages, dig deep into why they're not, you know, trying to change them in themselves or whatever. Because ultimately the challenge pack is the best value, and I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about how to break down the value for them, so that oh, that's all right, Megan, don't worry. You know, I want to show you guys how to show them value. And I know I've posted a little bit about this in our Team Cup page, but I want to be able to down for you even more. Wow, this camera is really like super anal. Doesn't want to like stay on. So, you know, you want to, during this month, guys, I've said this already to Megan. I talked to you one-on-one, and so to a couple other girls that I talked to one-on-one, and I asked you guys, like, what is your ultimate goal? What is your daily goal for messaging and so on? And, you know, some of us have 5 to 10. I shared that I've been trying to do for 30, and as a matter of fact, I hadn't done messaging all day. I've been messaging here and there, but I made it my goal to message 30 people per day. And I literally, like, the 30 minutes before getting on this call, I quickly sent 30 messages out. And before that, I sent about 5 to 6 invites, like direct invites, like, hey, are you ready for this type of challenge? So I'm trying to increase my activity level. So if you're following that business activity tracker, try to increase that even more. You know, it's when it's downtime, like that video that I showed you guys on August, that August is like when everybody just takes a vacation, when everybody kind of slows down. This is the time where we have to like double time it, because if we do, we're going to see a tremendous rise in September, October, if we do it now. If we don't work our butt offs now, what's going to happen is going to be a downhill spiral. And I saw that happen to me last September, October, and November was really, really slow. And the reason why, I was away for August. I was away for my military leave for 4 weeks, and I had no access to computer. So I had a legit excuse, but my coaching really suffered because of it. And so I think part of that is why it took me much longer to get to where I am right now. But I learned my lesson. So, let's talk about your mindset and how to help you get out of that negative mindset. And when you're sitting down to go message people, you have to think about, am I going into this saying, well, everybody's going to say no to me? And, I already know. I know everybody that I'm going to message is going to say no and whatever. Like, it's not going to happen tonight. I'm not going to get Success Club 5 or 10. Or or you can go into with the mindset of, you know what, tonight I'm going to help 3 people. And as a matter of fact, before I did this call, I'm like, you know what, I need to do that. Like tonight, that's my goal, is like by midnight, I want to help 3 people. And I truly believe when you go in with that mindset, it will happen. I'm telling you, like, I can give you guys like personal experiences. As a matter of fact, last month, you know, I was talking to people every single day. Like I said, since last month, since like April, since May, I've been talking to a lot more people than I normally would have before. And you know, last month it was a struggle because I was getting a lot of no's, and I was almost going into that trend, like, okay, I'm not going to make it. But then I was like, I'm going to do this. I know I can do this. And almost none of the people that I messaged and talked to said yes. But like random people that I didn't even know messaged me because a friend of a friend had told them that Natalie is a coach and she could help you with their goals. And I barely had to talk to them. And they were like, hey, can you sign me up? So like it's about what you put into the universe, like I said, guys. And so I was constantly putting in, giving and giving and giving. And you know, sometimes it's hard to get those no's constantly. But if you stay positive and you tell yourself, like, I'm gonna help 5 people this month. I'm gonna help people like right now. It's gonna happen, guys. It will happen. It's happened to me. Last month was a testimony of that. And I'm so grateful because I stuck it out, even though it was hard. Like one of my coaches, she's not on here, and she's kind of been on and off. And she said that she's scared of rejection. And, you know, I was like that in the beginning too. I was terrified of hearing that word no. And it used to always put me down, and I used to feel depressed because of it. And then like now, a year later, like I look for the no's. Like I'm just like, yep, okay, awesome. You said no, all right. They're not ready. Let's go to the next person. You know, I look at it as a challenge to truly find people that are ready for this. So going with the mindset, you have to change that mindset and realize that it all depends on how you go into it. So are you going into the conversations with, I need to make more money, I need to get a challenge, I need to make these challenge packs, I need to get Success Club, like take, or are you going into these conversations like giving to people, like, how can I help this person change their life? You know, what can I provide them? What value can I provide them? What resources can I provide them? And if you're giving, people will feel that, versus always trying to pull out of them things. People just won't trust you. So, you know, you got to realize how you're going into these conversations, because people do feel you out and they can tell where you're coming from. So make sure you show more interest than you are talking yourself. Because negativity does rub off on people too. Like they can tell, and I've noticed it on people when they've sent me messages from other companies. You know, let's see. Okay, so I don't want to keep you guys too long. I know that I started pretty late. So are you guys good so far? You can hear everything. I haven't even checked my chat box yet. Sorry. Okay. All right. So no questions yet. Okay. So the last part that I want to talk about is handling objections. And this is probably the hardest part of being a coach and, you know, trying to change people's lives. It's not everybody's always ready for it, but we can go into these conversations better prepared for rejection, because if we are more prepared, we'll be more likely to succeed getting through those objections. And I did share with you guys in Team Cup sample of convos on, like, if somebody says I can't afford this, or I don't have time for workouts, or you know, I don't drink protein shake, or I already have a protein shake. Like, I have those conversation samples. But I'm going to show you guys on how to handle objections in regards to reality pricing, because that's like probably our biggest challenge people talk about. And so lots of times the problem is that we're always going to these conversations. We're talking all this, and then we wait till the end to explain to the people the value or what they're getting at the end of the conversation. And by that time, they most likely will say no, because it's already at the end of the conversation, and it's like a mental thing. But if you do it from the beginning and demonstrate from at the front end of the conversation, people will less likely say no. And I'm learning this as I go as well, and I've tried to adjust my conversations as I go, and I'm getting better at it now. It takes practice, so guys. So you just gotta constantly. The more conversations you get into, the better you will get at this. So you want to show them the value in the beginning of the conversation. So as you start to talk to people about how to help them, with their health and so on, you want to be explaining to them, how you're going to be bringing value for them to achieve their goals. So let's talk about how we can bring value in the front end of your conversation in regards to a challenge pack. So you guys know, I've already explained this to you guys in some of the texting and all that. The challenge pack is the best value. Absolutely the best value. And I'm going to show you guys how you can break it down to show people that it is the best value versus buying the Shakeology by itself or the workout program by itself. You guys know that with all these programs, challenge packs, you're either getting the 30, 60, 90-day program in addition with the shake at a major discount. If you guys go on your website, if you haven't done this already, go do that and put the program and the shake separately in a shopping cart and look at the total compared to what they're actually paying for a challenge pack. Now, let me give you an example, because this month we have like tons of ones that are on sale. But let's go to the higher end. Let's say like a challenge pack that's $160, which I don't think any of them really are $160 right now. They're all $140. You're paying $130 for the shake, and then $10 to $20 for the program. The shake itself, we know, replaces one meal a day. Like, we know that, right, guys? Because I hope we're doing the right way. It's replacing one meal a day. It's replacing something that was already. So that's totally distracting every time my camera goes off. And you're replacing that meal. So let's say you're replacing your lunch. I've said this to you guys before, but I'm going to repeat it again. You're replacing a meal, guys. Sounds good. And you're normally paying, let's say you're replacing your lunch and you go to Subway or you go to Starbucks. How much are you normally spending? I mean, for average is usually $5 to $10. With the Shakeology, you're paying $4.45 at the high end without a discount for that meal. And again, like I said, this is replacing something in your budget. It's not adding to something in your budget. So it's saving you so much money. And I've said this to people that I've talked to before, is ultimately you're not adding, you're saving. As a matter of fact, I've saved like $130, $160, $70 per month because I'm replacing that one meal. So if you break it down that way, people will understand how they're investing. And it's super easy to budget because, again, they're not going to be spending more anymore. They're actually going to be saving. So it's ultimately, so you can actually have them cancel out the $130. Okay, they're not spending the $130 because they're replacing something in their grocery list or whatever already. So cancel out the $130. What does that leave you with in the challenge pack? You getting a 30, 60, 90-day workout program with the meal plan and with the, let's say, 21 effects, with the portion control containers, and you as a coach for only about $10 to $20. So they're ultimately paying $10 to $20 for the challenge pack, guys. So if you break that down, guys, for them in that way, it's like a no-brainer. It's freaking cheap. It's so cheap compared to what they're spending right now. So, you know, you gotta, if you break it down, you can show that to them and be like, okay, so how much would a gym membership cost you? I mean, thankfully, gym memberships have gone down compared to like $50 a month, what it used to be before. But now you're looking at $20 for a program for a personal trainer for $10 versus going to the gym, paying a personal trainer $50 an hour for 3 times a week. You're looking at $150 a week for a personal trainer, whereas you got one personal trainer in your home that you invested in and you only paid once for. So can you guys see that script and how you can actually break it down for your prospects and make them realize, like, ultimately they're just paying for the program in a challenge pack because they're replacing a meal that was already in their budget. So this is like, when I realized that and I started to look at my own budget, I'm like, holy smokes, I'm actually saving money. My husband's saving money because he's not, I force him to drink the Shakeology now because I'm just like, stop freaking buying food outside. Like, you have the shake. And so, you know, it's sometimes hard for people to change that mindset, but it's seriously, guys, break down the value of the shake. What are you replacing? You're replacing one meal a day. It's only $3 for your coaches, you know, or I call them member discount, or $4 if they want to be just a challenger, versus $7 to $10 in Subway or McDonald's or Starbucks for lunchtime, which most people are spending. And they don't realize it, but they don't look into that, to their bank account to look at, oh, how much am I spending every day on lunch? So break it down for them. And ultimately, let's say if they want, like, juicing, and they went to some Whole Foods store and bought the probiotics, prebiotics, and bought the multivitamin, and bought some dried herbs, and they put this all together to make their concoction of a shake. That would be like $30-$40, guys, for that one shake. And you're paying $4. You know, that's, you know, look at the ingredients of what you're ultimately getting in the shake, guys. We're like paying dirt cheap money for what we're getting in the shake. And if you break that down for in your conversations, people will see the value and will realize they're not paying anything, really. They're paying $10 for a workout program and the nutrition plan that comes with it. So if you break it down and you show them that value in the front end of the conversation, this will help you to convert more prospects to customers, and you're going to get more people to help change their life, right? Because ultimately that's what we're doing, is helping people change their lives. So show them the value at the front end of the conversation. Try to skip that question about the price from the get-go, because obviously the price is not what should lead the conversation. It's the value and what they're getting. And then at the end, you break it down. And like I've said it to a few of you, that when I do come to the end of the conversation and that price question comes up again, I never say $140 right off the bat either. I say, well, you know, the shake is about $4 per day and the program is $10. And that's how I break it down, because that's what they're paying. That's what they're going to be paying, but it's in a lump sum. Now, they can do the math in their head, and you say, well, you get a 30-day supply of Shakeology, and then they can figure that out. But I never lead the conversation with, well, it's $140, $150, because they don't see the value. All they see is the number, and they're like, whoa, that's a lot of money. But is it? Is it really? So, guys, hopefully that helps with breaking it down for you guys on inviting and what you should be doing from now on for the rest of the month. Put it in your mind, guys. Like I said, by the end of this Friday, I want each of us to help at least 5 people. 5 people, guys. Now, you could either go in with your mindset like, I ain't going to find 5 people by the end of Friday, then you won't. But if you go with the mindset like, yeah, I'm going to rock. I'm going to find my 5 people by Friday, and they're going to be signed up by Friday, then it's going to happen, guys. So believe it and do it. And I promise you, it's going to happen, guys. It's whatever you put out there for the universe, it's going to happen. So ultimately, do you guys believe that you can do it? Do you believe that challenge packs are expensive or they're super affordable? It's whatever you believe. And whatever that belief is, you're going to be transferring that into your conversations. So if you believe challenge packs are too expensive, people that you talk to are going to think it's too expensive. But if you think it's absolutely affordable, it's freaking cheap, people will feel that in your conversations. So make sure that you know where you're at and before you go into these conversations, and get your mind right. If you're not feeling it, like I said before you sit down and open Messenger, make sure that you are reading your personal development, that you've done a workout, that you've done something to change that mindset. And I promise you guys, you're going to be way more successful than going in with the negative mindset, like this is not going to happen, they're going to say no to me, and so on. And I literally have like 10 conversations right now that from before I got on the call that are replying back. So that's why you keep hearing the ding, 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 ding. So that's how it works, guys. I'm going to get to work after this and get to talking to people, because that's what we do is helping people change their lives. And for me, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. And I will never look at it as a burden, because ultimately it's giving me that freedom that I'm looking for, that I was able to be with my kids today, and take him to the pool and take him to the park. You know, what is your why? Again, like we talked about last week, and is that going to be enough to push you to your next, to the next level, to reach your goals. So I'm going to give you guys, I think I have 10 more minutes left. It says on my, on the meeting. I'm going to open it up for any questions about inviting, any of your struggles that you've seen quickly, to see if I can help you combat whatever objection you've been constantly be getting besides the price, or if it is the price, how else can we break it down? Just let me know what are you struggling with right now. Sorry, you can hear that like in the background too. No questions? You guys are good? Yeah? All right. So I hope this recorded so that I'm going to post this in the Team Cup. So if you guys if missed anything, you guys can go and watch it again. Or you want to like write notes or whatever after. Let me know. But go out there and hustle. That's my favorite word. Let's see, finding the right words to say to people once they express interest. So what do you mean, like finding the right words? You can unmute yourself if you want, Lily. To say to people once they express interest. Like, are you talking about like people that have shown interest in your posts and they comment like I'm interested, or like when you're talking to people in the backdrop? What do you mean by that, Lily?
So when people they're liking my post, and then when I go and talk to them, they're just like, I don't know, do I start asking them, what are you into? And then they just, I guess, just connecting with them once they express their interest.
Okay.
And matching a program with them, because a lot of times when I match the programs with them and I tell them all the benefits and everything, and then they just stop responding. So, and then when I follow up with them either later that day or after a couple of days, they just don't respond anymore. So I don't know if there's something else that I should be doing.
Okay. So what I normally do with people that like my posts, I usually try to not go straight into the conversation of my post. What I normally do is try to spark a conversation with them if I haven't already, and just get to know them, like how they've been and what's new in their life. And I go on their personal page and look at what's new, what pictures, how old are their kids, or things like that. Like I just try to find out more about them. And I most likely, usually, if it's a new conversation with someone who's like one of my posts, I leave it at that. I just keep asking questions about them, and they keep answering me. I try not to leave the conversation open-ended. I always try to have a question. And what ends up happening is probably a day or two after those conversations, I bring it up and I'm like, oh, by the way, I saw that you liked one of my posts that I posted on my clean eating group or my health and fitness challenge coming up. Were you interested? Is there, have you had any questions, any struggles with your personal health? And then I go from there. I kind of try to bring that question up. And if they start talking about their, what struggle, or say, well, I've been trying to lose 10 pounds, and you want to go into that conversation a little bit deeper, like, okay, you're trying to lose 10 pounds. How long have you been trying to lose these 10 pounds? What have you done in the past that's worked, hasn't worked? So I try to dig deeper. I ask a lot of questions before I even go into a solution, just because I want to be able to understand where they're coming from, what their strengths and weaknesses are. And then, once I get to that point, I'll be like, so what type of workouts have you liked in the past? And if they say cardio or strength training or, whatever, then I can kind of like lead them in that direction. And then I'll bring up, well, there's a few programs that I've used, resources that I've used, that is great. It involves cardio, and you can do it from home, or you can do it from the gym, and then I go from there into that conversation. So does that help, Lily?
It does, because I feel like a lot of times I kind of just rush into it because I just want them to commit, and so that I guess I just focus so much on getting the success points and not truly getting to know them and connecting with them.
Yeah. I used to do that a lot in the beginning too, because I was always stressing and thinking about me. And then I realized, like, it's not about me, it's about them and what their goals are. And so I lead from my heart, and then I truly try to show them my genuineness and interest in them first before anything else, because then they won't be kind of standoffish immediately when you start asking them about, committing to something. Again, like, they're investing in something. So I want to make sure that they trust me first. So I always try to show that interest first. And, most of the people that I have invested in a challenge pack, they're usually people I've been talking to 1 or 2 months already. So that first month, usually they say it takes about 7 contacts before somebody says yes. So I try to, and whether that's through a Facebook feed page or, a post, that's one, whether you message them a one time, or have commented on one of their pages. Like, you got to think about how many times you've touched their life or you've messaged them to realize the more contacts you have with them, the more trust they'll build and more likely to listen once it's time for you to explain the solution for them.
Okay.
All right, I got 3 more minutes. You guys good? Any other questions? All right. So we'll call it a night. Thank you guys for joining me. I know you're super busy, and I know you're on vacation, Megan, and all that. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. And we'll continue next week. We'll just kind of coordinate which day is better. So as we go, because I know we're all super busy. So have an awesome night, guys. And let's go out there and hustle. We have 2 more days to hit our goals for Friday, because I truly believe we can do it. I know that you guys have the capabilities. I know you guys have talent, and you guys are unique in your own ways, and you have something to bring out into this world, totally different from me, that people are looking for. So don't give up and keep on trying, because I know that you guys have the capabilities to do it. So I hope you guys have an awesome night, and I'll see you guys soon.
Thanks, Natalie.
You're welcome.